What's up guys, my name is Ace, and welcome back to another gun guide. This is the series where I go into great detail with all of the stats as well as some excellent attachment combinations for every gun in Black Ops 6. And in today's episode, we're moving on to the brand new Kilo 141. And starting it off as always, let's get into our damage profile, and with this gun, it's going to be a 5 to 6 shot kill. And when it comes to headshots, in that maximum damage range, if you land 2 headshots mixed in with 2 body shots, you can get a 4-shot kill. Or if you use the CHF barrel, now you only need 1 headshot in that range mixed in with body shots for a 4-shot. As for our rate of fire, this is identical to the Ames 85 at 750 rounds per minute, and therefore I am often going to be referring to the Ames 85 as comparison, since it is a perfectly comparable gun to that. And what this means is our time to kill potential is 320 milliseconds with a 5-shot kill and 400 milliseconds with a 6-shot kill. And 320 milliseconds is a bit on the slow side for an assault rifle in this game, so it's definitely not a standout in that area. However, if you mix those headshots in for a 4-shot kill up close, now we're killing in 240 milliseconds, which is a much more competitive time to kill, even with SMGs up close. Or alternatively, we could use rapid fire to boost our rate of fire up to 822 rounds per minute, which now gives us a 292 millisecond time to kill to the body, and that's going to hold its own much better against most of the other assault rifles in the game. As for our ranges, we have a very impressive 5-shot kill range to the body at 55.9 meters, and let's compare that directly to the Ames 85. That is going to be better than the Ames 85, which already had a great range, by the way. And just as importantly, our maximum damage range is significantly better with the Kilo compared to the Ames, and this is the range where 2 headshots is all you need mixed in with body shots to help. And you might also notice there, the CHF barrel is more powerful on the Kilo than the Ames. We only need to mix in 1 headshot at that range to cut it down to a 4-shot kill with the Kilo, whereas with the Ames, it takes 2, even with the CHF barrel. And when you also factor in the bullet velocity and therefore our hit scan range, it's also going to be better with the Kilo. And therefore, so far at least, this is just looking like a better version of the Ames 85. But moving on to our barrels, the gain twist barrel gives us a 45% boost to our velocity, which is pretty big. And the long barrel is also pretty crazy. This gives us a 45% boost to our damage range, which gives us an 81 meter 5-shot kill potential. That is absolutely insane. Or we could go with the reinforced barrel, which gives us a 25% boost to both range as well as bullet velocity. And personally, I like that one the best. It's just the best balance of increasing your hit scan range nicely while also ensuring you're almost always going to be a 5-shot kill in multiplayer at least. And then finally, for rapid fire, we do see a 7% reduction to range and velocity, which really isn't that bad. Most guns see a 10% reduction here, so rapid fire is pretty decent on this gun. Now, when it comes to hardcore game modes, unfortunately, we only get a 1-shot kill to the body in the maximum damage range, so out to about 32 meters or so, which isn't horrible, but it's also not really great for hardcore. Then let's take a look at our hipfire spreads, and they're pretty much bang on average for assault rifles, nothing out of the ordinary here. And this is where we can move into recoil, which is quite exceptional as expected, since the original Kilo 141 was quite accurate as well. With this, it kicks upward with a bit of a lean to the left. It is also worth noting there is a bit of acceleration on those initial shots fired, so the first 3 or 4 shots that you will see more recoil than the rest. But then it caps out really hard, where you just won't see any additional recoil after you fire about 10 or so rounds, and that's pretty crazy. Even with extended mags, you can just keep spraying, and your sights will barely move. As for the CHF barrel, the recoil might not look that much worse, but there is a very significant jump between the first and second shot fired, so definitely something to be aware of there. Whereas with rapid fire, we do see overall more recoil because there's less time to recenter between shots, but we're not seeing nearly as much as that first shot jump compared to the CHF barrel, and this is still a very manageable recoil pattern. Next, let's take a look at our handling stats, and our aim down sight time is a bit on the slow side for an assault rifle at 270 milliseconds, and it's a similar story with our sprint to fire times. These are slightly slower than average for an assault rifle at 200 milliseconds for our standard sprint out time, and 300 milliseconds for our tactical sprint out time. As for slide to fire and dive to fire times though, these are just standard for an assault rifle in this game at 370 milliseconds and 450 milliseconds respectively. Then let's take a look at our reload times. There's some interesting stuff to point out here. By default, with our standard 30 round mag, we have a very fast reload time for an assault rifle at 1.37 seconds, and that's excellent. However, I was surprised to find with Extended Mag 1 and Extended Mag 2, so our 50 and 60 round magazines, they actually reload very slightly faster than our base reload time, if we're looking at the add time, so the minimum amount of time it takes without any unnecessary animations. And while this is a negligible improvement, it is an improvement, rather than what we would expect, which is a slower reload time with these. And what this means for Extended Mag 1 is there is no downside to using this whatsoever. It's all upsides. So definitely a big thing to consider when creating your builds. And then finally, this just leaves us with our mobility stats. And across the board, we're just average when it comes to mobility stats here. Nothing really out of the ordinary. It doesn't stand out in any meaningful way. It's just average for an assault rifle. And with all of that out of the way, we can now move into some excellent attachment combinations. And the first one I wanted to share for you guys is my preferred one. This is my balanced stealth build. So with this reason, the Kepler Microflex Optic, the suppressor to stay off the radar, extended mag 1, because why not? The ergonomic grip, so we get a faster aim down sight speed, slide to fire speed, and dive to fire speed, and the infiltrator stock, so we can strafe very nicely in gunfights, and we actually get a really nice boost with the infiltrator stock relative to the other assault rifles. Our aim walking speed is 4 meters per second, which is excellent. Now with this, our recoil doesn't really change at all from the base, but that's okay because this gun's really accurate as is, so we don't need to put any recoil improving attachments on it. It's got excellent handling stats, a nice 50 round magazine with a very fast reload time. And that just makes for a really nice, versatile, all-around build with the Kilo. Of course, you have to be aware of the fact that you're not going to be killing quite as fast as many of the other assault rifles, but you can leverage the great accuracy and range to beat them in mid to longer ranges, or up close, you can try to make sure you land those headshots, and that will also allow you to come out on top against most of the other assault rifles out there. Now, if you want to go for peak accuracy, or at least near peak accuracy, this is where my Gunfighter build comes in. With this, we once again have the Kepler Microflex. This time we're using the compensator, the reinforced barrel, the Ranger foregrip, extended mag 1, the ergonomic grip, infiltrator stock, and then finally the recoil springs, which is totally overkill in my opinion. But I really wanted to see how much potential you could squeeze out here when it comes to accuracy, and as you can see, this gun's got almost no recoil at all. It's insanely accurate and easy to control. We also get a nice boost to our sprint speeds with that Ranger foregrip. And that's why it's not technically our peak accuracy build. We could use the vertical foregrip, but I wanted to get some sprint speed out of that as well. And this one's just excellent if you're on those longer range maps in the game. Although, again, totally overkill in my eyes. And this just leaves us with one last build I wanted to share for you guys, and this is my aggressive build. So with this, we're just using the suppressor, the Ranger foregrip, so we have that sprint speed, the ergonomic grip for aim down sight speed, slide to fire speed, and dive to fire speed, the infiltrator stock so we can strafe, and finally rapid fire, which is kind of the key of this build, because with this, we do get that 292 millisecond time to kill to the body, which is much more competitive with the other assault rifles out there, and this allows you to play quite a bit more aggressively. However, we are sacrificing in the recoil department, so you're not going to be able to stretch those ranges out nearly as much as the base version of this gun or any of the previous builds I've shared, but that's not really what this one's made for anyway. It's designed for being as aggressive as possible while using the Kilo and ensuring your gunfights are generally up close and personal. And with that, that's going to wrap it up today's gun guide on the Kilo 141. As for my thoughts on this gun, it's basically just a better version of the Ames 85 in my eyes, which is not necessarily a bad thing. I kind of wish there was something a bit more unique, but I also like how they tried to keep it as true to the original Kilo from Modern Warfare 2019 as possible. It's not going to be a time to kill monster by any means, but it's super accurate and has an amazing range profile as well. And it's just really easy to use this gun. So maybe not the best gun in the game or anything, but one of the better longer range guns in the game for sure. Now, of course, those are just my opinions, and I'd love to hear what you guys think about the Kilo in those comments down below. And if you guys have missed any of the previous gun guides, I will leave a link to the playlist in the description down below. If you guys enjoyed this one, a like rating is always appreciated. And don't forget to subscribe for more if you haven't already. I'll talk to you guys next time.